Jojo Rabbit is the other movie that I saw at Brighton Cine City Festival, and it follows this young 10-year-old boy called Jojo who is part of the Hitler Youth during World War II, whose imaginary friend also happens to be Hitler, and he basically has to figure out how to deal with this dilemma that arises when he suddenly finds out that a young Jewish girl is being hidden in his house by his mother. This was a movie that I was really excited for the main reason being that it's written and directed by Taika Waititi, who also happens to play Jojo's imaginary version of Hitler in this movie. And Taika Waititi is very quickly becoming one of the best comedy directors working today, because he's made a string of films in the last few years, and not a single one of them is bad. What We Do in the Shadows is absolutely hilarious. Hunt for the Wilderpeople was a really nice and touching movie, and Thor Ragnarok is by far one of the funniest movies in the MCU. And now he delivers Jojo Rabbit, which in my opinion is the best balance of genuine emotion and humour that he's been able to do in any of his movies. I mean, yeah, Hunt for the Wilderpeople was a good attempt at that, but I did think it lent more towards characters rather than humour. It had a few humorous moments in it, but something didn't quite connect with me with that film. But with Jojo Rabbit, everything works so damn well. And especially for a movie that is presented in the way that it is, being set in Nazi-occupied Germany, with all these like Nazi-related things, you would think this is a movie that really shouldn't work. But it does, in a lot of different aspects. Obviously the movie is absolutely hilarious and is by far one of the funniest movies I've seen all year. The humour in this movie is very sharp and witty and definitely plays on your expectations a little bit, and you can kind of tell, because Taika Waititi's style, especially when it comes to the comedy in his films, is that he tries to lean as heavily to improvisation as he can. I mean, I'm pretty sure Thor Ragnarok was about 80 to 90% improvised humour. Which is great to see. And in this movie, I don't feel like there's as much improvised humour in this film. But that being said, what humour they do get away with in Jojo Rabbit works just as well. And my favourite aspect about this film, without a doubt, is that as well as being very funny and very charming and a good coming-of-age film, the movie also has some genuine heart and emotion at its core. And it never forgets that. And it also never forgets the time period it's setting as well. There are many points where you'll just have a smile on your face for many long periods of time, and you'll just be laughing your ass off. But then, at just the right moments, Taika Waititi will then take you and go, yeah, just before you forget, just remember this is set during World War II. And you will see these not horrific images, but just enough to remind you that, yeah, World War II was a shitty time and the true horrors of war can't be avoided. Like the way I'm describing it might sound like it's absolutely like the most jarring thing ever, but it's not. It's balanced in the most perfect way possible, that it never feels jarring when it cuts away to more harrowing things, more emotional things. When it does cut to them, when you do have the more humorous-based things, yes, it is really nice to watch. But when you do have the more emotional things, they pack more of a punch because they kind of sneak up on you and really do hit you right in the heart, pretty much. Like there's one moment in particular, I won't spoil it, but the way Taika Waititi uses visuals alone just made that one specific scene so powerful. The cast in this movie are all absolutely brilliant as well. Roman Griffin Davis, who plays the young boy Jojo in this film, is absolutely fantastic. This is the first film I think he's ever been in, and it doesn't show at all. He feels so natural in this role, and I loved every single thing he brought to the table in terms of his performance. Of course, Taika Waititi himself playing this kind of parody version of Adolf Hitler as Jojo's imaginary version of him has some of the funniest moments in the movie. He knows just the right amount of parody to take that version of Adolf Hitler, because you'd think he'd maybe go a bit too far, but luckily he knows just that balance of how to be subtly funny, but also some points where he needs to go slightly over the top, and I thought he was absolutely fantastic in the film. Thomasin McKenzie I also really liked in this movie as well. She plays the young Jewish girl who Jojo's mother is hiding in the house. I thought she was really nice, and what they do with her character throughout this film and the way her character progresses alongside Jojo's was really nice to see unfold throughout the movie as well. You also have Scarlett Johansson, who plays Jojo's mother. She was fucking brilliant in this film. I've always liked her as an actress because she's willing to do things that maybe other actresses don't usually do in a lot of films. And here, she really delivers and gives one of the best and most powerful performances in the entire movie as well. You also have Sam Rockwell and Alfie Allen playing these somewhat camp German commanders. They are really good as well. I suppose if I had to nitpick, I would have loved to have seen more of those two characters. The moments they get in this movie are really good, and they work really well for the bits that they are there for, but I just feel like we could have seen a tiny bit more of them. I might be being a bit biased because Sam Rockwell is a bloody brilliant actor, but those characters just felt so intriguing and I wanted to see more of them, and the fact that they were kind of cut a little bit short was a bit annoying, but it's enough for me to look over in the long run. I genuinely don't really have much else to say about Jojo Rabbit. The score by Michael Giacchino is really nice and really touching in the moments that it shines. The cast are all brilliant. Taika Waititi's direction is improving very much with each movie that he makes. The script is hilarious. I genuinely don't know what else to say. This movie is very poignant, very funny, and really hits the emotional beats really well when it needs to without ever feeling jarring in the slightest. I'm gonna definitely give Jojo Rabbit a 9 out of 10. This is by far one of the best and just generally nicest films I've seen all year. So guys, that was my review of Jojo Rabbit. If you like the video, then give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Bye.